Present.
McLaughlin.
Present.
Stump.
Present.
Full board. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented. Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion made by Mr. Foster, supported by Mr. Bedruff. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Citizen views and comments. Anything that's for the agenda?
Looks like everyone's related.
All right. Written communications. Any? No.
No. That's.
All right, special presentations. We'll start with trap shooting.
Good evening, Mr. President and Board of Education and Bear Country. We have a few presentations tonight, and one is for Trap Shooting Club. Ms. Wolfing brought this idea to me earlier, maybe a month or two ago. And so in front of you, you have a packet from Troon that just has some information there. The reason why we wanted to I wanted to bring this to the board is because it has to do with weapons. It's not a normal club that we could have just moved forward with. So I just wanted you to be aware of it. We can discuss the information later. That is before in front of Troon. We'll bring Mr. Sanders now to give the overview of the club.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Bob Saunders. I was a teacher here for a few years. Now I'm kind of semi-retired, but I'm substitute teaching here a couple days a week at the high school. And I had, all the time that I was teaching, I had kids wanting to, because they know how much I hunt and fish and shoot and all that kind of stuff. And they were asking, even kids who weren't in my classes were asking me about a trap shooting, a shooting club. And so I brought it up with Mrs. Wolfing and Mr. Henry and Ms. Epler and kind of going through the channels. It is part of the Michigan State High School Clay Target League, which is part of a national clay target league. The Breast Bay Sportsman's Club down the road only has trap. At other schools like Groseal, they shoot at Wayne County and they shoot skeet and trap. But anyways, we would be doing trap here. As far as statewide, there's a couple hundred schools statewide now in Michigan that have the team. It kind of fluctuates year to year, but there are a couple hundred teams in the Michigan State High School Clay Target League. It's the safest league sport or anything. There's never been an injury, never been a any kind of problems with anything like that in the history of the league. The people at Breast Bay are really excited about it. They want to see younger people in there shooting and doing a sport that they love, like I do. And so yeah, that's kind of the overview of what I can answer any questions you might have. Well, a couple things right off the bat. First of all, no guns will ever be on school property. We might have a meeting or actually, if everything goes well, we'll start having. The league has all kinds of great resources, and this is just some of the online stuff that they give. And so I would put together a meeting for the kids probably first, and then an after-school meeting with kids and parents, because you got to have parental support on this. It's not, I can't just have one of the students sign up. I got to have parental support. So I would be going into that next. So, any questions yet?
Do you think you'd have enough support just from our school, or is this going to be a combined school effort?
It can be. With the athletic directors, we just have to agree. There's some kind of cooperation agreement. If there was someone from Airport used to have a team, they don't anymore. The only team around here that I know of is Grosio in the here on this one. But yeah, so other homeschool students can come, boys, girls, ages or grades 6 through 12. Yeah. So yeah.
Can I get a basic format of how the team concept is? How many coaches per players? How many kids we talking about that are capable of bringing in guns?
Right.
And another thought I'm thinking is, obviously they have parents' approval, but
Right.
have you thought about it that if the kid was actually not doing well in school, is there rules to
Yes.
prevent them as well,
Just
like
like
any
any
other
other,
sports?
just like any other sport, they got to be academic.
And who oversees that? Who oversees that and communicates to the school? Questions like that. Have you guys done your homework as far as?
I can't say that I have gone deeply into that, but I plan on doing everything.
Oh,
to start.
obviously, that's a heck of a lot of responsibility for people, for children, obviously.
Right.
Obviously with guns, but I think we have a huge hunting
Yeah, exactly.
crew around here, and
Yeah.
I'm all for it, but I want to make sure that as we as adults, we've done our homework.
Right.
On the formatting and as a sport,
Yeah.
so that we don't run into anything.
Right. Yeah, well, it's gonna be a club. It's not gonna be it's not an MSHAA sport. It'll be a club organization, ruled by a lot of like the robotics club and stuff like that, right? As far as numbers, the minimum is 5 to compete. 5 to 10 is one coach, and then every 10 after that, you need another adult as a coach. So.
Are we prepared? Have you done your homework as far as how many we're going to see numbers wise?
Just talking to the kid, yeah, over the last year.
What kind of numbers?
I think we'll probably start with 10. I think we might be around 10.
Okay.
And I've talked to a couple parents also too, and they'd be willing to come and be the additional parent if needed.
What season will this be?
This will be the spring season. There are two seasons every year. And it starts, the deadline for entrance is March 20th. So, and then it's like track, I believe. It's a true sport scoring system. Is that how you guys, it's like not just individuals, it's like it combines everybody into a team. It's more of a team sport. So you don't have one club that's got 2 ace shooters that are just going to blow everybody out of the league. It's a team sport. And everything's online. We will be paired with another school that our size. It doesn't have to be local or anything, but online we'll be paired with other teams in our size, and we'll shoot at Breast Bay, and I'll keep the score and enter it in their program. They got a really good program, and it just matches everybody.
So all the games are home.
Yeah, and then at the end of the year, there are except one. There is the
Here's other competitions.
there's one, the state championship in June. And everybody's qualified. Everybody goes to the state championship if they want to. And it's a big 2-day event, and it's in Mason over by Lansing this year. So.
I think it's great. Definitely 6 through high school. That's huge.
And what it says in their information, and people I've talked to, is he said if you start with 5, he said you'll have 10 next year. The first couple of years, especially if it goes with everything, it kind of multiplies. It's all total. It's Title IX compliant. It is like I said, co-ed. So.
Are there any parents here that have kids
No,
interested in it?
no.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
There we go. See. Yeah.
So you would be interested?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think there's a big lot of kids who would be, I think, really interested.
Is there
And they don't necessarily have to come from a hunting or shooting background.
Right.
The safety aspect is everything, right? So I thought I tell them, I taught construction trades, and I said, construction trade safety is everything. But this is even another level higher, right? Safety is ultimately everything in this. And they do have to go through a safety training program. If they've got their Michigan Hunter Safety certificates, they're qualified. But if they don't, and they don't want to take the Hunter Safety course, there's a course that I will be trained. I'll go through a 5-hour training, and I can train them. And it's all online. It's online type stuff. But at the range, there's always a range master there, a member of the club who's very strict about the rules. And I've already told any kids I've talked to about it, it's going to be the most strict rules you've ever seen. It's, any goofing around, any horseplay, and there's not even a discussion. It's over. It's too serious to have any kind of gray area. So
You anticipate it lasting several years, or you?
Yeah, I'm here for
I heard we've had one in the past.
We've had one, yes. Yeah.
And it kind of dissolved.
Yeah, it did. It kind of lost interest. I'm not sure what end it lost interest on. It was the student, there was some, I understand there was some parents, a couple of parents that were involved. But no, I'm going to be here for a while. I plan on subbing here for quite a while longer. I really enjoy the subbing, and this will really keep me involved too. So.
He was very successful at Monroe High School. I know it's growing every year at Monroe High School. They started with, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it was 15 and they're over 30. So
they're
a lot bigger, but
I have a good friend who works for Hillsdale College, and he's already got me hooked up with the team out there. Because there are scholarships. There are over 500 colleges in the country that offer scholarships through shooting sports. And Hillsdale's one of them, and they got a beautiful facility. So we would be able to go out there once or twice, maybe.
Can you please provide the board with all this information? I'd like to at least know everything about it, and it just would be.
Yeah, I can give you the, make sure I got the email right now in front of me.
Does it say a flyer or something that will go out? You can share that with us too. That would be wonderful.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'll make sure you get it.
Have you thought about the funding?
The funding, to start, it's like $230 to sign for a school to sign up. And I'll pay that. I'll get that out of the way. But then it's $30 a student to sign up also. And then they've got to pay for their rounds. They got to pay for their ammunition and their range fees. But there's through the National Clay Target League and through a lot of companies, there's a lot of sponsorships. So there's a lot of availability where companies will supply cased ammunition, and a lot of times, I haven't had a chance to talk to them about it in detail yet, but a lot of times the ranges will give discounts on the cost of a round shooting too. So.
God, I wish I was still in high school.
Fun. I wish we had it when I was.
You got anything for adults?
Yeah, assistant coach maybe.
There you go, Tom.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, I need that.
Does anybody else have any other questions? All right, well, we appreciate it. We're
Okay.
definitely looking forward.
Yeah, I'll get you guys all the information I've got, the website, and kind of some of the local stuff, some of the ideas I've got for here too.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
but again, March 20th is the deadline for the spring league, and we'd like to try and get that. Because I know there's a couple seniors that have really, they've been saying, are we going to do it? Are we going to be able to do it? And hopefully we can get it in so they can say, and it'll be, they can get if they're, they can get a patch or whatever to for their jackets. They got a varsity jacket.
Will the website basically explain most of the
It's got,
questions we have?
it's a very, very good website. They've even got a presentation, but I didn't really feel technically adept enough. But they have a PowerPoint presentation on starting a team or club. So, good.
Look forward to the information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. board in front of you, the packet from Troon explains a little bit of information and gives the background for the governmental immunity about 6 questions that the board should consider before or as we're moving forward, recommended next steps. And then there's a release form there, a sample release form, and a hold harmless agreement form. And just because of the nature of this club, we were very thorough, different from a robotics club, a chess club, something to that nature. And then I just added at the end the board policy on student groups.
All right, moving on to Mr. Petty, 98B winter updates.
The most important and exciting part of the evening. Out the way. Well, good evening, everybody. And first and foremost, thank you to you all in the central office staff for the kind gift you sent out to the funeral home for my mom. Her passing, and I just truly appreciate that and want to take a moment to thank each of you personally for that. Coming around to you, as you all are aware, go back to the fall, the 98B legislation that is out and about there, and because certain board members, I'm not mentioning any names, complained about the little print, tried to take care of you there. Some of the 98B legislation is really a carryover from COVID legislation. Don't laugh at that.
Mike, no, Mike.
What? Oh, geez. So what is required for the funding mechanism to kick in is that we garner some data across the district, both academic and non-academic, and get these presented to you, the board, and the public. Tomorrow, Mr. Henry has the template that the state requires, and that'll be posted on our transparency page tomorrow. So everybody's all in compliance. And yeah, it's a hoop we're going through, ladies and gentlemen, for funding, point blank. What's tied into that as well is that 104 B and C that both Mr. Henry and Mrs. Galati presented to you in the fall. I know we're tag teaming some of that stuff. Everything is all linked together in there. So we are required just to do a baseline set of data in the fall. And if you remember, we talked, that's the top line going across on the big form for NWEA. That's what we're using. That's a testing outfit that we go and test kids on depending on the grade levels. And you can see how they go through there. Reading and math are the 2 that are required by the legislation. We also test language usage and science in certain spots in there. Our goal as prescribed and set was to show growth. And just cutting to the chase there, what you see highlighted in the middle shows growth in every area except 1, and the loss there is 0.5. Statistically, it's insignificant. With the standard deviation that's in there, 0.5 loss is basically, for all intents and purposes, saying that it's the same. So once the NWEA is given at the building level, I know the principals dig in and go about certain sets of data in there. And a lot of this fits in with that 104 B and C, with the 98 funding, with title funding, interventions, et cetera, in there as well. Building, in departments and grade levels, they take it even further. Individual teachers is one who picks for the first time. I'm dealing with this in front of me on a science test. It's different. It's something new to me, but it's interesting how I can go through there and see the things that prescribed to the 110 7th graders that I see that they're struggling with, see their strengths, see their weaknesses, and we just build on that and go on through there. The third testing, of course, will come in. The third testing I hate. It's terrible. It's horrible because it's right near M-step. Kids are fried. Teachers are fried. It's terrible the way it's set up, but unfortunately, it's one of the hoops that we have to go through. Our non-academic goal is the other sheet of paper that I have in front of you, and Mrs. Dunn, I thank her, she was able to pull data for me, quit like on Friday, as I try to get you the most up-to-date in there, and that's attendance. We look at the average daily attendance rate in there. That is a goal of not only every building, but the district, the county, the state of Michigan in there. And you look at that 90% threshold, that makes the state happy. I know we've internally used 95, but tell you, an opinion as a lowly 7th grade teacher sitting in this classroom, you still have a crew of people that almost look at attendance as optional post-COVID. And we have a struggle on certain kids. We've got some kids that have perfect attendance, are here every day, regardless of what's going on. And you have some you're pulling teeth in to get in there every day. So I think that it's a great goal to have, because I think it's what we get the kids here, boy, we can get the other set of data built up. So a mid-year snapshot, mid-year check-in. We'll go through the compliance. We'll get everything put on the website. Then in June, before the kids' last day of school, so it might very well be the May board meeting, as long as the NWEA is done. We'll look at the concluding chat and then wait to see if our friends in Lansing say, do this again next year. Because it's so much. The nice thing is with this one, I will give them credit. It's things we do anyhow. It's things we do anyhow, but it's goofy hoop we have to go through. But we will do as we were told. We will get the funding. Can ensure that. Any questions I can answer for you? I know this is very just brief and across the board from the district level as it's meant to be, but just please understand that both sets of data, attendance and NWEA data. It's in the buildings, it's dug into grader, and in departments, grade levels, and classrooms even further.
I think maybe we need to give a pizza party to our 2nd grade team.
You can definitely see some trends in there.
That is huge. That is
You have one sitting right here. I'll just get out of the way so you can. Two of them. Oh, there's Mrs. Arnold. We got 2 of them in there. So there's lots of strides in there, and typically as the grades go up, you'll notice the growth comes down. There's with NWEA, one of the problems with that test. Not every test is 100% perfect and works for everything. I mean, it gets you data. Trust me. Okay, it gets you data. However, there's a ceiling with NWEA. So the closer they get to that 8th grade, it's meant to go 12th grade, but 9, 12, they hit that ceiling. It's one of those, they hit the ceiling and bounce backwards. So it disappoints a lot of kids because somebody's got a 99A and then next time around has a 96A. And it's hard to explain to them, hey, an A is an A is an A. However, but they look at the point values coming down. So several years ago, we stopped doing this at the high school level. But you can definitely see in that 6, 7, 8 where they're honing in on that ceiling. And the growth is not as much as it is other places.
I have a 3rd grader who had Miss Arnold last year, and she is at a 6th grade reading level.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We got it too.
Shows strengths, it shows weaknesses, it shows where we got to work. I like somebody who hasn't taught science in 25 years. It's a great thing to help me hone in on my craft, so I'm not constantly running down the missus boat going, what am I doing wrong now? So it saves her that conversation on a weekly basis. So, but barring anything else, folks, we'll be back tail end of the year and give you the year-ending wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go this way, right? Beat up on Mr. Sharp.
All right, moving on to subject C, AASA Learning 2025 National Summit.
Mr. President, in front of you board members, you have another handout there on the district's letterhead. And I had a conversation with our board president a couple weeks ago, and I was introduced to this conference, the American Association of Superintendents and Administrators. And it's a learning conference for going toward the year of 2025. And so the bottom part of this, under the line that you have on the second page, it explains what the commission was and that it started in January of 2021, moving toward 2025. But I'll read the top half as to what we're going for tonight. The Learning 2025 National Summit, co-hosted by AASA and the Successful Practices Network, will bring together leadership, faculty, boards, and staff from across the country to highlight their work building future-focused capacity and align it to the Learning 2020 Commission. That is the information below the line again. Over the course of the summit, participants will learn from each other as well as thought leaders and national experts through keynote presentations, how-to sessions, and networking sessions. This event is designed to support a boardroom to classroom approach to systemic change. We encourage you to attend as a team focused on building a system-wide plan to meet the current and future needs of all students. And so with that in mind, the part that was important was boardroom to classroom approach. So I mentioned to our board president, we might want to explore this and have 3 representatives: the superintendent, a representative from the Board of Education, whoever you choose, and a representative from the JEA. The dates are June 25th through the 28th. So although the school year will be over for teachers, we definitely are looking to invite a JEA member. The funding from this will come from Title II. We have funding for this, that is the professional development funding. We had some things that we were able to move around, and we were just waiting on approval from our field representative from the Michigan Department of Education. But I wanted to bring this before you tonight so that upon the approval from the board and upon the approval of the amendment from our field representative, we can go ahead and you can get your member, and then I can talk to the president of JEA and see if there's interest there, and get a member, and then we can go ahead and secure the expenses that come with this.
Any questions?
What's the, just off the top, what are we looking at? I know it's coming from Title 2A, so what's the expenses that are per person that we're,
Well, we have,
and where's the summit at?
it's in, oh, I'm sorry, it is in Washington, DC. We have transportation, so that will be flight, hotel, registration, and then those incidentals as it relates to ground transportation, luggage, things of that nature.
Hearing nothing else, moving on, report of the chief financial officer. Operations, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Wait for you to say facility upgrade.
I'm sorry, when do we have to get back to you on this so that in a timely manner?
So it is for action tonight. That the vote that we're getting from the board is just that I have the approval to move forward with it, and then the board at some point will decide who will represent the board, and then I can have conversation with the JEA. So basically, giving you approval to move forward with that.
Yes, facility update.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. So security upgrades, and this is in regards to the Department of Justice grant that we received for $300,000. We're just still working on acquiring those quotes, nothing yet to present to. Our LED light project, today was the final walkthrough, and it is complete. We're done. I shouldn't say done. We're 99.5% done. The final walkthrough found a few things, and they're going to come back and do all that for us. The high school front doors that were replaced, we're waiting to hear from FSS Technologies about scheduling them to come out to finish the electronic access system. Right now, I do believe our handicap is still not working just because they need to get out and connect the wires.
Did we pay them in full yet?
Yes, but they know my name.
Okay.
They're coming out. HVAC control project. We've been working with SiteLogic and also with Service 2.0. And remember, Service 2.0 is the company that came in last year, pretty much just to get our stuff running when it was crisis mode. SiteLogic is our construction managers and architects. We've been working with both of them separately, not together, just to keep our options open. And we're looking at our options to update the HVAC controls, and we're close, and we will bring that to the facility committee and then the whole board for a presentation once the facility committee.
Are you looking at replacing the HVAC at the middle school instead of band-aiding it? Because we've been band-aiding it for forever.
I don't think it's a band-aid.
Everything we've done.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we keep
I think
redoing
what
it
he's
over and
looking
over
at-
again. What you're looking at is a replacement of controls and
Just controls for now. Not that I'm not gonna sit here and argue that you did not make a good point there.
So
Just the
I
project we're
don't doubt
looking
that.
now is at the controls. And on top of that, it's not like that's the only thing we're looking at. We're still looking at middle school air conditioning
Mhm.
and things of that nature. It's just that's the largest project.
Keith, say we, who's we?
Myself, the superintendent's been involved, and also our maintenance
I was
supervisor.
gonna say, shouldn't we have like a facilities meeting and discuss this a little more?
I thought so too. Absolutely. So I think it was
Just saying.
discussed. I think we should.
Or
Well,
maybe that's not up to you.
Oh, but the facility board prior to, the facility committee then, were they?
well, that's what
were
we're
they-
doing. We're just meeting with the
Just a
companies
follow-up.
now to put the plans that we have available, and then we bring it to the facility committee.
Okay.
Just to have some kind of numbers, you're saying?
Yeah, numbers and like,
The budget type.
But they're going through in details what they're trying to do, right? And what they're upgrading and controls wise and so forth.
right, and that would come to you. That's going to come to the board. We're not like saying this is what we're doing. We're just, scheduling the walkthroughs with them, looking at the numbers, but also if they say, oh, this will be 20 million, I mean, I'll bring that to you, but also I'm gonna tell them, well, let's come up with a better plan that I think the board will be able to do. It's nothing's being kept away from them.
No, no, and again, when I say this, I'm not trying to in any way be disrespectful, but someone like me walking through with them could be able to counter some of their items that they think we should be getting, or probably enhance it. I just like to be involved,
Oh,
just go through a walkthrough with you and Mr. Superintendent and whoever's in the facility crew. That's all I'm asking.
I know.
That's all I'm asking.
Which I think we're planning to have a facilities meeting soon anyways, right?
Oh, yes. And this will be front and center.
Yeah, and I think just talking about facilities, that meeting will help because we'll be able to develop and see what needs come first and then future plans to, meaning like future big projects. Like if we are gonna replace the HVAC, which would be nice, and that's been a thing that we've been talking about forever. And also with the sinking millage passed, that was in there as well, so I'll make sure that's focused on. So,
Thank you.
all right, purchasing card statement?
Any questions?
I did not have any.
I did. All right. We have a couple, I'm a little confused. I know this is simple stuff, but for a 30-year dumpster, we're paying, a lot less than we are paying for an 8-year dumpster. I mean,
Whose card was that?
I don't.
Oh, that's
you're
the check.
sorry. I'm sorry. I went to the check registry already. I jumped.
Oh, no.
My bad. My bad.
So non-purchasing card?
The P card, yes, the cards I do, it's, Miss Pajaro's. All right, I'm looking at some, expenses here, November 29th. We are, all these conferences we're going to, I mean, I see it's Title II, funding is, I mean, that's, wow, we're paying a lot of money. We have a lot of travel expenses. Is Title II, can we use Title II for anything else? Or is it only just for higher learning? Quick
So
question.
Title II is for professional development, that this is not just conferences, it does have to do with learning and professional development that we do internally. Prior to you joining the board, I shared with the board in June or September this plan, and we had, the reason why we were so aggressive this year for that is because we had carryover dollars from last year.
Okay.
So the plan will not always be that aggressive, but because we had carryover dollars, we were able to do that, and we wanted to, the rationale that was given to the state was that our state is below number 40 out of 50 states in education. When we go higher, then we'll start patronizing our own. Until then, as the lead learner of the district, I want to expose our employees to excellence outside of our state. And so that's where that came. That's the rationale that I gave the board at that time, and that's what they approved for the year.
Yeah, I'm just, the reason I'm questioning, I mean, we're flying to Texas, Denver, these are big expenses that,
How many employees have done, sir?
So on average, what we did was we factored out about 3 to 5 per, and we tried to make sure we had cross levels. So an elementary representative, middle school, high school, something to that extent. That was the idea. Some of them have gone, some of them could not go. So we now have carryover dollars from that, from what we budgeted already. But that was the thinking at first. And that was what was shared with the board. In addition to, the board received a comprehensive professional development calendar that they had not received before, which were professional developments that teachers wanted to go to. And I incorporated it into the ones that I wanted to go to and that I wanted to take them to. So the board has to approve my professional developments, but I put them all together on one list so that the board can see the bigger picture of what we were building towards.
Can we, I mean, is there any documentation on these conventions that, like, what we're doing there?
Yes, sir. So
I mean,
in
is there
particular,
like some sort of we can
in
find out
particular,
what we're paying for?
one that that the team went to in December in Texas, we did a professional development district-wide where we shared that learning with the district at our early release date in January. Another one that you may see on there was from Houston. That was for our security conference. So the deputy and I came back. We reported it to the administrative council, and we're working on that with Ms. Galati with getting dollars and making sure that we beef up our security. So there were targeted audiences that were reported to about those professional developments.
Can we get that calendar since I'm new and don't have it?
Yes, it is on the board docs on September 2022's meeting. If you don't readily find it, just let me know and I will get it to you.
Have we looked at all bringing somebody from out of state, either virtually or live, to a full district or even multi-building PD?
Yes, we're looking at that. What happened was the reason why we have quite a bit of carryover is because of the COVID years. People weren't traveling and doing that. So which way do I want to say this? I'm very aggressive when it comes to that. I think exposure, even for students, is important. I think exposure for staff members is important, but we are looking to bring people in as well. This was my first year, so I wanted to bring a comprehensive calendar to the board on teacher requested PD and my suggested PD together, but it doesn't mean it's etched in stone. We're even working now, getting input from principals and principals are getting input from teachers that we're putting together a proposed calendar moving forward.
As a teacher, I love PDs, but as a mom, I can't get away. And so I think it would be so much more beneficial to have somebody come or be streamed in so more people can attend. You know, it's, if you're spreading the cost across the district,
More bang for your buck.
more bang for your buck, and our teachers are able to go, because, you know, you try to take me on a PD to Texas, even though I would love to go, I can't swing it with my husband's schedule and, you know, trying to get my kiddos to school. And so I think that would be definitely something that would be important to me moving forward.
Also in that though too, there's some of these classes that you can't get anybody, you've got to go to them, so we just got to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
Yep, that's.
Anything else on the purchasing card?
Yeah.
Anything else on purchasing cards?
Okay. Checklist here, Mr. Foster, was that waste management 7611 that you looked at?
There was a bunch of them.
Yep, 109, and yes, 76109, so, I'm sorry. Yep.
So, the description, what you see is 8-yard or 30-yard.
Yeah.
And the 8-yard is more expensive because it's just one invoice for multiple buildings.
Okay.
So like the $1,700 one has 8 dumpsters on it. So that's why it looks
Right.
more, but.
Well, right, the way it's worded, it says an 8-yard dumpster. I mean, I know it's a little point, but I mean, we're getting charged, you know, $1,700 for an 8-yard dumpster, but yeah, we're only $1,200 for a 30. It caught my eye, and I thought we should talk about that because maybe we're getting charged too much.
Well, we actually were being charged too much.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
why
say,
now we're with the
yeah.
public services.
All right.
Oh, any more questions?
Yeah, I have- Check number 5110. It's CTE Construction Trades.
That's the account number.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry, I don't have the check number then. CTE Construction Trades. It's 868.11, but it's on there 4 times. 2 of them are a refund, 2 of them are a check amount. I'm just confused.
I'm finding it.
1077.
Yeah, this was.
V 1077.
It's on 13123.
1077. Oh.
It looks like we got the money back, but I was just wondering why there
It's
were
right
4
here.
different transactions.
Oh.
Well, that's interesting. It comes out to be a wash.
I was just saying.
That's why I was curious if it's an automatic withdrawal, why are they giving it back?
Just.
If you look on the back
The one
page,
on the back.
if you look in the back, there is a charge for the 868.11. It actually does, they do get.
So there's 1 charge?
Oh, they do.
Yeah, three total, but there's 2 refunds, so there is 1 charge, so.
But
It's like the treasurer's doing his job.
A different check number. That's what it was. It's a different check number though. So that there must have been a mistake, so we voided it. And then the B1087 was the correction. Yes. So it was a void because of an
Okay.
error, but it was corrected. Would you like to know what it was for in detail?
Well, just, it's construction trades, I'm sure it's a class.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with it. I just wanted to make sure we weren't being overcharged or undercharged, or
Right.
I didn't want to see it 5 times next month. I'm good, that's all I have.
Keith, I think you've mentioned this, I've seen this once before, but I just can't remember, so I wanted to check on it. On 7625, on 11323 for your voice.
That's
I can't remember what that was.
That's the speech pathologist, correct, Mr. Henry?
Which check number was that?
It's for your voice. I didn't catch the check number.
7625?
Yes, we're doing contracted services because we no longer have a speech pathologist
Okay,
in the
that's
district.
I just wanted to clarify.
Anything else in check register? All right. Moving on, financial update.
Financial update, we'll start with cash and investments. At the beginning of the month, we started with just shy of 3.3 million. Our cash receipts were just shy of 1.8 million. The auto withdrawals, PNC purchasing card, roughly the $20,000. Our bank service charge was $248. The credit card processing fee was the $291. We transferred $4,100 to Arbiter Pay, and that was to pay for the 2 coaches. If you remember from last month, I said we're starting to move our non-employee coaches to Arbiter instead of EduStaff, and that's what that transfer is for. Magic Writer fee was about $35. That's the same every month. HSA contribution, just shy of 40 grand. That was the 50% front loading to our teachers. Total payroll, including UAAL retirement, was just above $1 million for the month. The check run was $250,000, and that ends the month with roughly $3.7 million. Any questions on that?
Have we received our?
It's here.
Okay.
We deposited it. And what he was referring to is the big check from Frenchtown. Moving on to the statement of revenues and expenditures. These numbers have been updated to reflect the budget that was just passed last month. Our general fund total revenues, we are at 33%. That does not reflect that check.
Right.
It's through January 31. Total revenues are at 33.3%. Total expenditures were at 40%. I know this gets confusing whenever I say it, but if we were to end the fiscal year on January 31st of last month, our ending fund balance would be just over $1 million. That's not what we're projected in, but that's if we ended last month. Our CubCare, it's the same data as last month. The journal entries for EduStaff have not been made yet, so next month it'll be reflected for 2 months worth. Going on to the rec center, the rec fund, our revenues are just above 20% of budget. Expenditures are 49%. Food service fund, our revenues are at 48%, while expenditures are at 38%. And the sinking fund, our revenue is at 13%, and our expenditures are at 47% of budget. And the percentages, right, if you compare them to the prior month, are higher because we're starting to receive our local tax revenue. Any questions on that? No? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to new business, approval of minutes. Motion to approve the minutes of January 9th, 2023, special board meeting, January 9th, 2023, organizational meeting, January 17th, 2023, COW meeting, January 19th, 2023, special meeting for Board of Education interviews, January 23rd, 2023, special board meeting, and January 23rd, 2023, regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion made by Mr. Stump, supported by Mr. Fryer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. All right, subject B, hiring of Claire Deasing, school nurse. Motion to approve Claire Deasing as the school nurse effective February 16, 2023. New employee paperwork has been completed and satisfied. I'll make the motion.
I'll support.
Motion made by myself, supported by Mr. Stump. Any discussion?
Yeah, I did have one question. Does she have the school nurse certification, or has she agreed that she'd be working on her 8 hours that she needs to get that?
I do not remember. I do know that was a question that was asked. And I will check on that and follow back up.
Yeah, that's just, as long as from what I read with the state law, as long as she agrees that she's gonna work on her certification, everything's fine.
Did you say it's an 8-hour certification?
Well, I know there's 8 semester hours they're supposed to do, but they also list in another section different topics that they can take, which I'm sure she's aware of.
Gotcha.
Any other discussion? All right. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. All right. Motion to authorize the administration to proceed with the purchase of 16 smart and interactive displays from REMC in the amount of $47,920.
Make that motion.
Support.
Motion made by Mr. Fryer, supported by Mr. Bedra. Any discussion? This is, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just wondering what rooms these were going in. Who gets to play?
I do not know. I'd have to ask our tech director.
Okay.
They're gonna go to South and North.
Oh, I love that. Mostly because I have kids in both those schools right now.
That'll also allow us to bring the LED projectors from North to the high school. And
Oh.
like some of these
Nice,
projectors for the home.
nice, nice.
And this is all being paid out of the technology, correct?
Yes, and it was part of the original budget that we built way back in May and June.
Any other questions? All right. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Motion to approve a request for the Jefferson High School DECA students to travel to Detroit, Michigan, March 9th through the 11th, 2023, to compete in the Michigan DECA State Career Development Conference.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion made by Mr. Better, supported by Mr. Foster. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. Hold on 1 second. Let's write a few things down. Yeah, this is missing for that one. All right. Motion to approve the attendance at the AASA Learning 2025 National Summit Professional Development for identified staff members. Need a motion?
Motion to approve?
Support.
Supported by Mrs. Lancaster. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no.
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 Motion carries. Let's do a roll call, actually. You don't mind?
Yeah, I'm a little confused. What is this for again?
This is for the travel for DC for the
Yeah.
conference.
Gotcha.
Just give me a roll call.
Oh,
Nope,
sorry.
you're good.
Vedra,
Yes.
Bajaro,
No.
Foster?
No.
Fryer? No. Lancaster?
No.
McLaughlin?
No,
Stump?
Yes.
Motion fails 5-2.
all right. Oral communications, citizens. We do have some.
Yes, we do. Start with Kylie Gribble.
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to allow me to speak on a topic that is very important to the class of 2023. I am here to tell you guys why I believe that the seniors on graduation day should be able to wear decorated caps. Some students look forward to decorating their caps for years of high school. Many schools everywhere allow their students to wear decorated graduation caps, and they use these as graduation party props and a memory for life. Some students decorate their caps in honor of someone who has unfortunately passed in their family or someone who is very ill. I also believe that decorating our caps shows differences and diversity in our school, and I think we should be proud to show that in the school. Not allowing our students to show differences and uniqueness and not decorating caps the way that they want shows our school wants to hide them and make everyone look and feel the same, which in fact we are not. I have talked to many students in my grade and others, and they have told me that they've been looking forward to this memory for life. I understand the uniform walk, the look as we walk across the stage looks nice, but as a student, we want to stand out. Working for years for a diploma and good grades, even through COVID. The days where students had to be in isolation to not get each other sick, but still worked as hard as they could to make good grades to one day, senior year, to walk across the stage. We buy these caps with our own money, so we feel as though we should be able to decorate them how we want. Obviously, we'll have a date where we submit our designs and what we want on our caps to the principal to be approved. So nothing vulgar or inappropriate will be allowed. Guidelines can be made for the caps. I do not see any issue with decorating our caps. It is a harmless expression of a student's individuality. I think the class of 2023 and all classes that follow should be able to decorate their caps. Again, I want to thank you guys for listening and taking the time to understand why we want to do this. I have also had a petition go around our school today. We've had 7 whole pages worth of students and our lunches sign saying that they want to be able to do this. 9 through 12. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Good job. You're welcome.
I say yes.
The second one is, Mary Kittle.
Hi, I'm Erin Hill. I'm Frenchtown representative for the Monroe County Bike and Pedestrian Committee, as well as I'm on the Frenchtown Recreation Committee with Mr. Fryer. I was here about a year and a half ago. There's probably three people at least here that saw the presentation for Safe Routes to School. And at that time, the board had approved, to my understanding, a team to start the Safe Routes to School. Sue Wagers could not come tonight. She's Berlin Township's representative. But Sue and I couldn't do it because you need the school to do it. You need a grant writer, that type of thing. So the first step, I just wanted to bring this back as a refresher, and I can leave this paper. The first step is to watch, it's a 1-hour webinar on Safe Routes to School. What this would do, there's thousands of dollars in grant money, and it would be to create a bike path to school. So our goal for the Monroe County Bike and Pedestrian was to get a path from Dixie up to at least the middle school. Okay, because there's several kids that walk and bike up and down that road, and it would be safer for them to have that specific area to ride or walk up. So the Safe Routes to School for Michigan, they would issue, there would be like a liaison that they would supply to the school to help in putting this process through to get this grant money. So I just only really came back to try to, as a reminder, we'd really love to see this, this path or non-motorized sidewalk, whatever it's going to be, extension to the road, whatever it could be, to see it to fruition would be a goal for me. So I can leave this and pass it to Mr. Henry. And that was all. It was just a reminder. Like I said, I know a year and a half ago we presented it, and I believe if you look back, and it would have been August, that they approved a team to try to get it going. So, and I don't know if you have any questions. You're welcome to, if anybody would like to sit in to listen to the Monroe County Bike and Pedestrian, we meet once a month via Zoom. You can email me, and I'd be happy to give you that date and have someone, make sure you're invited.
I have a question. Did your committee have input in this upcoming, or maybe?
So Sue and I, she's Berlin, we know the path goes up to Furman, Dixie's got the path going too. Frenchtown Rec Department is very proactive in wanting to get non-motorized paths too, for the future. Getting a path from like all our parks, Kiwanis to Park 3 is around Blue Bush, that type of thing.
Can you help me with the vision? Because I used to ride from Woodland Beach from here, so I can definitely relate. But are we talking pathways through the coming up through the middle school road here? That'll be through their yards?
No, well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. You've got to start the process.
Okay, so looking into getting that information out. Okay.
These funds would come to help for like a planner.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
To find the best way to make that path, up Stone Creek to get to.
So
we do have the.
So what's your vision? Where do you see the path?
Well, it could probably go on either side of the road. I'm not sure. I'm not a planner.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the road commission's gonna have to be involved.
I love the idea.
I would just be happy to see at least the path to get to the middle school. It'd be nice to get one soaked, but, and maybe there's a wide enough shoulder at some point in the future for soak, because that's another one you could ask for as well.
Sure.
To ask for funding to get up to soak as well. So.
No, we appreciate the reminder for sure.
Yeah, so that was all. It was just a reminder to try to see it to fruition. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I have one more for Deanna Beard.
Good evening. This is the best way I could get everyone in the same room, is to present this to you today. I am an attorney. I am here in an informal capacity. I'm here in hopes that we can resolve some issues that have been presented to the board and gone through the chain of command to get to the board. They're not getting resolved in my clients, which are numerous members of your staff. My phone goes off almost every day with somebody new. It's a serious problem and we'd like to address it. I'd like to sit down with you and work out these problems. I know that she had this, at least this is one complaint package that I just happened to drag out of my thing here, that hasn't been addressed since you guys received it before you guys actually took possession here. We want to work these things out. We want to get this going. There has been enormous attrition rate in your staff